The Rockstars always felt like the black sheep of the FREDD'N gangs. They always felt so disconnected from the other ones. Every other version of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy got their own game to heavily spotlight them. Of course, FNAF 1 exclusively featured the classics. Then in FNAF 2, the toys and Withered shared an equal spotlight. FNAF 3 had the Phantoms, where Bonnie, now being Springtrap, has more spotlight than the rest, but all are pretty much equally there. Then FNAF 4 and so on, besides a missing Chica here and there, pretty much had the main gang as the main threat. But with Pizzeria Simulator, the Rockstars were kinda just there. I mean, honestly, these guys kind of just exist. Even sadder is that they were optional. You didn't even have to buy these guys. You could replay this game over and over and genuinely forget these guys even exist. Hell, sometimes I even forget about these guys. I mean, the only thing they have is that they're on the menu screen and they're the icon? Cool. But even stranger is how they seemingly are being given more importance. I mean, as of recent, as in a year ago, we were given Help Wanted 2, which added an entirely new character named Carney. While on the surface he seems kind of bare bones, just a silly guy who freaking dies and all that, but looking closer, you start to realize something. It's a Rockstar, isn't it? It's gonna be a Rockstar. Yeah, he's effectively a recolor of Rockstar Freddy, but at a festival for some reason. A fall fest. Specifically a fall fest either in 83 or 1970, but either way, this shows that at least the design of the Rockstars were much older than we ever thought, and then that got me thinking, what more can we learn about the designs of the Rockstars? And my Freddles, after looking into them with a comically large magnifying glass, I have to say, I was shocked. So come join me as I solve this poor band of black sheep animatronics. The first and most notable thing about the Rockstars is their suit design. At first, it's nothing out of the ordinary until you do what any sane person does and count the amount of fingers on each suit. And strangely, it's 5. Not only that, but the design of these suits in general are extremely reminiscent of a certain type of suit. That's right, my Freddles, I am depositing the idea that the Rockstars might be Springlock suits. I mean, it would explain these interesting design choices and also why Carney looks like them, because these animatronics are just as old as Carney. We know these guys have to be at least older than Circus Baby's Pizza World due to all Springlock suits being disbanded because of that location.
An incident at the sister location involving multiple and simultaneous Springlock failures, the company has deemed the suit temporarily unfit for employees.
But it makes you wonder, well, what happened? Why did this version of Freddy and gang go missing all of these years? And why does Lefty look like them? I think I have an answer for both of those. And it all stems from the... We know that during either the 83 or 1970 Fall Fest, there was a fire that ravaged through it, destroying basically everything, including our poor friend Carney. Remember, he freaking dies, but we've yet to know what caused the fire. But many point to the cause maybe being the Mimic. Mostly because we know the Mimic was involved in some kind of fire we've yet to see from the first Tales of the Pizzaplex epilogue, and that the costumes the Mimic wears seem very carnival inspired. In fact, a lot of what we've seen in Murray's costume manner seems very carnival inspired, but I believe that was so we would link it to Fall Fest. But how does this relate to the Rockstars? Well, I think they may have been at Fall Fest, likely as walk-around characters, but due to the Mimic's whatever it did, the Fall Fest burns down, destroying Carney, who may then later have his remains repurposed into Lefty, and the agony from the fire infused into Carney's metal explains why Lefty is so damn violent. The Rockstars are somehow able to survive from the fire, not without any damage, as Rockstar Bonnie's voice box would be damaged, but except that, they'd be okay. Little side note, but this would also explain why Rockstar Freddy seems to react to heat and UC Foxy in because something with heat happened to him before. After the fire, Henry and William's creation, the Rockstars, are blamed for it, which meant the company needed to distance from those characters for a while. So they went with Fredbear and Spring Bonnie, along with later Freddy and the gang trying to bury the existence of the Rockstars. They even removed Foxy's peg leg, accordion, and parrot to distance himself even more from the character of Rockstar Foxy. Speaking of Rockstar Foxy, that's the biggest point of evidence against this idea. Rockstar Foxy would be impossible to be a spring-lock suit. Okay, maybe you could explain the hook away with the performer's hand being in the black bowl part of it, holding the hook, but the peg leg seems nearly impossible. I mean, genuinely, how? But maybe Rockstar Foxy could just be an animatronic, while the rest are spring-lock suits. But that seems a little picky-choosy, so I'm not sure. But other than that, I think this theory is decently sound. It would explain Carney's design and why the Rockstars were seemingly missing for decades, but let me know what you think. Do you think the Rockstars are spring-lock suits? Do you think Rockstar Foxy might have just had a one-legged performer? Do you think that the Mimic caused the Fall Fest fire? Well, let me know in the comments below. Here's my socials, here's a fast token, and I'll catch you at 6 a.m.